Hello, my name is Dina and we are a group of three students, Sarah, Habib, and myself. Our presentation talks about a digital and educational tool or method known as Achieve 3000 Literacy. Let's start with this question. How Achieve 3000 helps students improve their reading and writing skills? Achieve 3000. It is a digital tool that we can use in order to increase learners' literacy development. It is an educational method designed to help students of all backgrounds and levels develop reading and writing skills. It uses a historical data to assess current levels and assign them to the next appropriate level. Achieve 3000 is a digital tool that we can use in order to increase the learner's literacy development. And there is an educational method designed to help students of all backgrounds and levels develop reading and writing skills. It uses a historical data to assess the current levels and assign them to the next appropriate level. In this slide, we're going to talk about using Lexels to differentiate instruction. Let's start with the picture that we have it here. The first one, differentiated text. Working with the students at different reading levels to improve literacy and prepare them for the next step. Could be college or job. The second one, empathy assessment. Sure, adult learners assess student status and create a differentiated learning materials for grades 2 up to 12. And the last thing that we have it here, adaptive content. Lexile levels are adjusted to provide students with more complex text, but when they are ready. And the last thing and the most important thing about Achieve 3000, this educational and digital tool that keeps teachers and administrators informed of students' progress.
In this slide, we will be talking about providing opportunities for independent reading. Achieve 3000 Literacy combines individual student work with teacher-led training to deliver an educational strategy that achieves this important goal and guarantees the highest acceleration in reading comprehension and full literacy improvement. By the time students reach stretch reading, they have already read the same article at a specific reading level and are therefore familiar with the background information and key topics. As a result, individuals can focus more on syntactic and lexical differences while reducing their cognitive effort to understand basic concepts. Reading, writing, and conversation from nonfiction sources can enhance attitudes towards reading and help increase students' overall literacy. A learner's literacy is also likely to advance when they are interested in a text subject and when texts deal with real world issues and questions, regardless of the genres they like. As you can see in this slide, the topic that I have chosen, which is summer jobs, makes sense. These topics enhance the students' attitudes toward reading and writing because it's nonfiction, which is related to real life. A student must be able to navigate and learn from a variety of informational materials per the college and career readiness criteria. The student must be able to understand unfamiliar vocabulary and concepts, recognize key concepts and the author's viewpoint, and evaluate the arguments put forth in order to decide whether or not they are sound and supported by enough evidence. As you can see, there are so many activities that a student can do after reading a text. So student, they can read, respond, reflect, and write. According to the first activity after reading, which is responding, so the student can uh, respond to a certain questions by more informative and persuasive writing. Achieve 3000 offers students various lessons that give them the chance to read, write, and discuss important topics. These lessons are created by experienced writers. Students in each lesson that adheres to the lesson routine go through a series of activities, such as reading informative texts, completing embedded formative assessments, participating in discussions, reflecting on their learning, and responding by producing informative and persuasive writing that
In this part, we are going to see what are the steps for doing a lesson. So first of all, we start our lesson in Achieve 3000 with a thoughtful question. So this question like plays the role of sharing the main ideas that the students have before, like the prior knowledge, and it works also for getting the attention of the students and their interest, make them interested about the text that they are going to read. And then for enabling most of the students to comprehend the content of the text, there is step two, which is called the academic vocabulary. So the students will know the meaning of the words that's going to be used in this text. Step three, we move to differentiated type of questions. That means the students need to answer some questions, and then the platform automatically adjusts the level of the text that is given to them. Once the students have completed reading and answering those questions, there is a moment of reflection. The students can write down their thoughts, the ideas that they have gained reading the text. And this is not only just a matter of opinion, but they also have to include an evidence from the text so they can have a proper feedback. Here, I want to clarify in detail the whole steps that I have mentioned. Like step one, a thoughtful question. It comes like this. Just an issue to see if the student shows an agreement to the topic of the text or disagreement. You can see here the button agree or disagree. And then they can start it from this perspective that they have gained and the impression that they have about this text. Then we move to the three like differentiated vocabulary. Once the students start in reading, they have different types of vocabs. Vocabs for beginners, as you can see, very achievable, clear. For medium achievers or on the level, and we have other advanced and more complex vocab for high achievers. Once the students do this, we have now the automation, how the text changes in terms of the level, and it's automated to monitor the students' progress. And this is all like done in an automatic way. For securing, we are providing a differentiated task for the students. Step four, we have the reflection. The students have to provide their point of views about what they have learned from this text, and of course, add in the text evidences from the reading passage. And this techniques make them learn how they can understand the general idea and also get the details by skimming and scanning. Those are most of the important references we have used to make this research about this book, or rather it's like an online platform for reading practices for most of the students starting from kindergarten till grade 12. Most of the references are related to Achieve 3000 company. Thank you so much. We hope that you have learned something about Achieve 3000. and try to use it in your classrooms. Of course, it's going to be very important to elevate the students' level in reading.